Garden Report, we are back. Bobby Manning, Sherrod Blakely. We forgot someone yesterday out of our quartet of Celtics core members here. It's Payton Pritchard, who has become so casually dominant in the first two games here that you really don't expect too much more from him. This is just kind of the same stuff he did last year with a little boost in terms of passing. 21 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds as he gets a little stockier here, puts on a little weight. Looks like he's a little bigger than he was last year, and he's rounded out in such a good form that you might see him sitting down soon, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I look at him and Neesmith as two guys who, if you're the Celtics, there's really not much they can prove at this point. I would definitely think about shutting them down. But the thing about Pritchard that I like is that he's basically been able to be more consistent in these first couple games. I thought that was the one thing that he would have stretches where he was really good and you felt his presence, and then he would just disappear, whether it was because he wasn't playing particularly well or noticeable, or Brad just wouldn't play him at all, which, again, that was one of my own personal beefs with Brad. I just thought that there were stretches where Pritchard clearly should have been on the floor, and he wasn't.
So that's one of the things Mazzulla has been talking about is his ability to lead the floor. He has said this like 3-4 times, be a floor leader, make other players better. I was looking at his pick and roll numbers from last year. They weren't that good.
No.
And 0.75 points per possession. And, you know, you could feel it. If he had to step into that starting role, which he didn't do often last year, he would struggle. And I think a big part of that is that he wasn't a great creator for his teammates. He could get his own. He could catch and shoot for certain. But in terms of pick and roll creation, those type of things, he still gets some room to grow here.
Yeah, and at his size, creating your own is usually creating a block shot for the other team. And we've seen that. But to your point, Bobby, I mean, pick and roll, as you know, is such a staple of everyone's offense. And if you're a point guard and that's not one of your strengths, and you don't have great size or length at the position, which he doesn't, you're probably going to have some trouble. So you've got to figure out, what can I do to impact the game in a positive way if I can't use my physical attributes to make that happen. And he's doing that. He's knocking down deeper threes, which I think is going to loosen up the defense a little bit, because you're going to have to come out a little bit further. His ability to drive and kick, and not just drive and kick, but drive and kick to guys where they can catch it in rhythm. You go back and you look at that game winner that Romeo hit. I mean, perfect setup by him. And that is what, when Coach Mazzulla talks about being a leader on the floor, those are the type of plays that have to happen, and have to happen consistently. And we're seeing that in Summer League, but as you know, there's Summer League and then there's the real league.
But we've seen him dominate some regular season games too. I mean, he can be a burst of scoring off the bench, which is so important for this team. They do kind of need someone to fill the void of that backup point guard spot, and Schroeder's going to help in that regard. But is there going to be room for some Pritchard minutes in that spot here? Because, again, in terms of his standing on the roster, I know you felt Brad didn't give him enough here, but the roster might just shake out in terms of the guards that they have, that he might not be getting many spot starts next year either.
Well, his thing, I don't think he will. If everyone stays healthy for most of the season, which never happens, but in case it does happen, I see him having a somewhat limited role. But the cool thing about him now is, because of his ability to extend his range, you can play him off the ball and he can still be an impactful player. And then defensively, you can just switch him on to whoever is the smallest ball handler in that backcourt. So I think his ability to extend gives him a little bit of versatility that I don't think he had, or he didn't have the confidence to have, that he does now. And that's a good thing for the Celtics.
He has hit some deep threes here at Summer League. Weight training, the home school, that all works out, as well as the dribbling skills that he does. He's just in complete control on the dribble. So Payton Pritchard shaping up to have a pretty good summer here. We'll see how much longer he plays. Aaron Neesmith off his 33-point game. We'll see how long he's on the court for. Just 2 more games on paper for the Celtics here, and then a 5th before they're done with this Summer League. Stick with us tomorrow for Celtics and Magic at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. And Sherrod and I will be here throughout the rest of the week.